We are at Fort Roberdeau here in Sinking Valley, a few miles north of the city of Altoona. Fort Roberdeau is a reconstructed Revolutionary fort that was built to protect lead mines located here in Sinking Valley. And of course, lead was crucial to the war effort. The fort was built by General Daniel Roberdeau and was garrisoned by Rangers from Bedford County. Oh, we're here with Major Thomas Cluggage of the Bedford County Militia, who's the commander of the garrison here at the fort, and otherwise known as Glenn Nelson, who, jumping ahead to current day, is the director here at the fort. Glenn, thanks for having us over today.
Welcome to Fort Roberdeau, Bud, and we are excited to have you here. We are the westernmost Revolutionary War fort in Pennsylvania, and we are named Fort Roberdeau for General Roberdeau, who funded the expedition for this fort. And the purpose of this fort was to protect the lead mining and smelting operation in this beautiful scenic Sinking Valley. And there were lead ore deposits in the mineral rock, and that's why our fort existed. And three things you should know about Fort Roberdeau is one, that we were a lead mining and smelting operation to supply lead ore for musket balls and rifle slugs for the Continental Army. The second is that General Washington actually corresponded with General Roberdeau and spent time trying to recruit a smelter for Fort Roberdeau because the lead ore was that important. And number three is that we had pensioned veterans that served here at Fort Roberdeau that became pensioned veterans of the Revolutionary War, in part or total because of the service at Fort Roberdeau.
One of the differences I've noticed, Glenn, is the construction here is a little different than what we typically think of the Revolutionary period stockade fort.
Right. As you come into Fort Roberdeau, a lot of people see that difference in construction and ask about it. So the lead mine fort here in Sinking Valley, they weren't able to dig the traditional ditch with the vertical poles with the sharp points that makes it hard to climb over, because the bedrock in Sinking Valley often is real close to the topsoil. So when they tried to dig down, they kept hitting bedrock. So they made a decision to lay a foundation of stone and then stack the logs horizontal. So a foundation of stone and then horizontal logs, and it makes a very unique look to Fort Roberdeau. And they tied the horizontal logs together with dovetail notching. So this is the dovetail notching that we were speaking about that helps hold the horizontal logs in place. And then over here in the corner is we had these bastions, or bastions, as the French would say. And the purpose of the bastions was, in the early days, you never knew how many men you would have garrisoning your fort. So they had these diamond-shaped corners so that with 2 times 4 equals 8. In the 4 corners, if you put a guard or sentry at the top of your bastion, you could see the whole way around your fort, the whole 360 degrees around your fort. You could have eyes and observation, so it made it very hard for raiding parties to sneak up on the fort.
Now, you've got a couple of events coming up here in the next couple months here in the summer. Why don't you tell us about what we got coming up here, Glenn?
Sure. We are so excited. On Saturday, June 11th, we had the Yankee Peas Mess Garrison. And that's right, the Yankee Peas Mess. And they are going to garrison the fort like it would have been done in 1778. So while they're staying here, they'll be eating dried apples, salted pork, and cheese. And they will live like it was 1778. And during the day, they will show military drills of the day. They will have civilian life during the time frame, and then a small reenactment so that you can enjoy military action in real living history. And in fact, Fort Roberdeau is known for its living history, and the best day to experience that is, of course, the 4th of July. On Independence Day, we have a free open house, and we have as many of our staff and volunteers here as possible at various education stations so you can check out what life was like at the fort and the frontier during the Revolutionary War. Again, that's our open house celebration for the 4th of July from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come out and join us. And finally, we have our traditional Revolutionary War days on July 16th and 17th, that's Saturday and Sunday, with reenactors from around the region, and they will portray a couple reenactments based here at Fort Roberdeau. So come out and enjoy living history in June and July at Fort Roberdeau. And you can reach us at 814-946-0048 or our website at fortroberdeau.org, or check us out on Facebook, Fort Roberdeau.
We're in the officers' quarters here, and as you can see, it's the height of luxury for the officers in the garrison here. They had a rope bed, wooden floors, and this would be the enlisted men's quarters. As you can see, we've got multi-level bunks, straw mattress on a hard board, and in contrast to the officers' quarters, dirt floor. And here we've got a look inside a lead miner's cabin, the way the people that worked here at the fort would have lived during these days. And as life on the frontier dictated, had to be pretty self-sufficient. So we got a full working blacksmith shop here at the fort where they would produce their own tools, knives, so forth. You can see the bellows up above the hearth there, sharpening stone, the anvil, everything needed. Blacksmith often doubled as a tinsmith and produced things like cups and plates, silverware, and those kind of accessories that were needed on the frontier to help just with day-to-day life. Production of lead was the ultimate purpose here at the fort, and this is where the smelting operation took place. Fire was built down below. The lead ore dropped onto the fire. The lead melted out, rolled out the channel, and was cast into ingots at the back of the channel here. The storehouse of the fort And you can see this is where the supplies, food, grain, water, and that ever popular delicacy, salt pork and salt beef. That refrigeration, that's how the meat was preserved. Dried in salt. Thanks for joining us on this trip to Fort Roberdeau. There's a lot to see and do here that we didn't cover in this video. Living history interpreters, hiking trails, a picnic area, historical displays and dioramas in the barn. All in all, a great place to spend an afternoon learning about history. If you like our videos, a like and subscribe would really help us out in getting recognized by that pesky YouTube algorithm. As always, till the next time, have a great week.